I learned specifically how my brain worked. I mean, I think looking back, that was the most significant thing that I learned from him is I
Yeah.
learned how my brain worked. And I understood that, we have these limiting beliefs that are
Ugh.
inside of us. And if we don't crush those limiting beliefs, we're going to have a crappy life, man. I started working on that heavily, through the Dickens pattern and trying to really get myself to understand that these things, if I don't change it, what is my life going to look like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road? And I made a
Yeah.
decision that I was not going to live in fear of these limiting beliefs. I always thought about myself as a short Mexican little, uneducated kid. Your mentor, I wanted to ask you about, do you have any mentors? Is there anybody that you really like throughout your life, you look back and that was the person that really helped you to transform your thinking or take you to that next level?
Well, as far as like unconditional love and support, my parents. I mean, they believed in me before I even believed in myself. And then as far as like business mentors, I haven't had a ton, to be honest with you. But there's coaches that I listen to, programs that I've taken. I'm affiliated with Proctor Gallagher, so Bob Proctor, obviously, and Sandy. And some of my friends that are in this business, we bounce a lot of stuff off each other. And even though we're in this mindset improving your life field, we're still human. I mean, I like had a thing like this week where I was talking to one of my friends who's like a mindset person, and I just said, like, you have to remind me that you can't mess up something that's meant for you. Or can you? And she's like, no, you cannot. You cannot. So sometimes you need that reassurance and that backbone. So it's okay to slip up. Just make sure you get back on the path. So I would say, yeah, I don't have anyone like specifically, like I don't know Tony Robbins like personally or anything like that, but I think he's amazing, his work, and his, I think he's great, but like he's definitely a brilliant marketer, you know.
For sure, for sure. I mean, I was 21. I mean, changed my life. I mean, Tony Robbins
He's
actually did change
amazing.
my life. I mean, I was
Yeah.
21 and I went to my first seminar and like my life was never the same. I mean, and I learned specifically how my brain worked. I mean, I think looking back, that was the most significant thing that I learned from him is I
Yeah.
learned how my brain worked. And I understood that, we have these limiting beliefs that are
Ugh.
inside of us. And if we don't crush those limiting beliefs, we're going to have a crappy life, man. I started working on that heavily, through the Dickens pattern and trying to really get myself to understand that these things, if I don't change it, what is my life going to look like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road? And I made a
Yeah.
decision that I was not going to live in fear of these limiting beliefs. I always thought about myself as a short Mexican little, uneducated kid, which that's what I look, saw myself as a teenager. And I got in a lot of fights, got in a lot of trouble, all that, bad. I was a bad kid. And so when I got into business, I was like literally afraid to talk to tall, white, educated men. That was like a
Mm,
limiting belief for me. I was like, I didn't
yeah.
see myself as worthy to be in those environments. And then, so I never really talked to the people that I think maybe could have helped me faster, build my business faster. And so, but of course, once you crush that, and then once you figure out that, you get to spend your life worrying about what people think about you, or you get to spend your life doing you and becoming the best version of you that you can become. And once I figured
Amen.
that out, I mean, shit, it was all downhill. I mean, I was able to crush it after that. So, and
I
then
know. It's
yeah.
like when you
So,
let go of the care of what people think, it's like that's like mental freedom, you
and
know?
it's fun because then it's like the world kind of opens up for you. I
Yeah.
mean, I wrote a book and you wrote a book too, right? And I wrote a book and I'm thinking, is it perfect? I got to make sure it's perfect. I got to, what are people
Yes.
going to think? What are they,
What
how are they going to
are
react to
they?
it? Like, and then, you know, like a couple of years later, you're like, nobody gives a fuck about it anyways. You know, it's like, I mean, it's like,
Right.
they don't even care. You know, I mean, people, they read the first 3 pages anyways, and then they're done. You know, just got to make sure your first 5 pages are really, really good. That's it, because that's all people read, you know.
Well, then they hook in, yeah, and make sure the audiobook is there. People like those
There you go.
audiobooks. I'm one of them because I'm like, I can't sit and just read.
I
I have
know.
to go on the go at the gym. That's like my motivational walking
That's
around,
it.
you know, stuff
That's
like
it.
that. Well, this has been awesome. I love
Yeah.
talking with you. We could talk for hours, I feel like.
No, seriously. I mean, I like hanging out with people that are very conscious about, you know, what they want, where they want to go, what their life is going to be like. Tell me about that though. Like, where do you see yourself 5 years, 10 years down the road?
So I see myself performing on stages all across the globe, inspiring people to get out of their own way and live their best life. I want to be a best-selling author of multiple books, including a fictional series that I'm working on. I want to have my inspirational but entertaining reality television shows on the air. And I would love to also be the face of Coors Light because I love it. That's
Yeah.
like my literally my bucket list item. So hopefully you have
Wait a minute. Are you serious? You really do love Bud Light? I mean, Coors
No,
Light.
I love
Coors
Coors,
Light.
not
Coors
Bud
Light.
Light.
Sorry.
I'm not Dylan Mulvaney, but thanks to Dylan Mulvaney, I think I now have a shot to be the face of Coors Light. Why?
There you go.
I'm actually a woman and I'm authentic.
So what is a woman? So what is a woman to you? So what is a woman?
More Y than X chromosomes.
Okay. Wow. You're brilliant.
I think it's that, right?
You're actually more brilliant than that Supreme Court justice that couldn't define what a woman was.
I was like,
how did we ever elect into the Supreme Court of the United States of America?
Like a pussy versus a dick.
Yeah, pretty simple. Pretty simple stuff. Life doesn't have to be that complicated, you know. And man, I love this. Okay, so tell me how do people get a hold of you? How do they get connected with you? Because I want them to know you, and they're gonna, by the way, they're all gonna DM you, by the way, on your Instagram. So give us your Instagram too, but they're gonna DM you and they're gonna say, thank you, Madison. We loved Wealth on the Beach podcast with Daniel Alonzo. It was amazing. And they're going to DM you and buy all your shit.
Okay, I love it. When you first said slide into your DMs, I'm like, no, don't send me dick pics. But you're saying in a positive way. That was the first thing where my mind went.
Is that what it means? I didn't. Okay. Anyways,
when it says slide into you, you're like, they're going to message you.
Okay.
Isn't that funny?
Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe you'll get some good dick pics. I don't know. Maybe you will. I mean,
I'm going to make a collage. I'm going to make a collage. I'm going to put them on.
This is from Wealth on the Beach, Beach podcast. These are all the dick pics that I got. Yeah.
And then I'm sending it to you and you have to wear it.
If you like this video and you want to watch another one, click right here. If you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.